Good morning, good afternoon, good evening internet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Economical Rides. Well, hi there. You join me on one of my favourite roads. No, actually, just kidding. I'm on the motorway. But I am on the way to one of my favourite roads. Anyway, Dan Rodemski, Dinklick and Sky Saxon Dragon Slayer, stay tuned because your mods will be featuring later on in another Other Bods Mods segment. So, once I get to my favourite road, or one of my favourite roads, I'll rejoin you. Because this is motorway, this is boring. See you in a bit. So, hello again. You join me now on one of my favourite roads. As I said, this is the road from Zojena to Rambla Alhibe. I've just been through some lovely positively cambered fourth gear sweeping bends, which were very enjoyable. So, let me tell you about today's plan. Well, after doing a couple of videos with a specific theme, I thought today I needed to have a bit of a reset and just go for a ride, but then I thought I might as well take you along with me. So today we're just going to do a video about me going for a ride. As I mentioned earlier, we do have an Other Bods Mods segment coming up later on, so stay tuned for that. So today's plan is, I've discovered a new road. So we're currently on our way to Rambla Alhibe, and then I should take the road which was Buddy's nemesis, the Najeri road to Albanchez, because I've discovered that there was a junction just before the village of Las Menas, and if you take a right at that junction, it brings you on a new road, a different road to a place called Arboleas. Now, I've never been down that road, and again, it's probably going to be a bit of a dodgy road, but I just thought, well, I didn't spot it when I was out on Buddy that time, and having looked on the map, that road should bring me back to where I need to be to head home. So I thought, instead of following the route we took with Buddy, we'll turn off a little bit earlier and come back a different way. So that's the plan for today, so I'm going to share that with you. So again, I'll leave you for now and join you in a little bit. So now we're on the road from Rambla Alhibe to the road to Albanchez. And as this is quite a nice little section as well, I thought I'd let you share it with me. So what have I got to talk about today? Well, obviously Buddy's ears have started to fall off. One of them's fallen off. The other one looks like it's about to fall off. So we're out on the Classic 350 today. My hands are tied with Buddy at the moment. I did think about epoxying the mirror back on or Subaruing it back on, but my Royal Enfield dealer is on holiday until the end of the month, and they might need to see it as it is and not as I've bodged a repair. So at the moment I'm just not using Buddy until I get that all sorted out, what we're going to do about it. Lots of nice gravel here. So yeah, the Meteor is currently out of service. Judging by the comments so far, nobody else seems to be having the same issue. We're not sure whether the chrome mirrors are going to be affected in the same way as the black plastic fireball ones. So that remains to be seen, but so far I think I'm the only person to have a problem, so That's good in one way, but kind of annoying in another. But anyway, maybe some others haven't done enough miles yet for the problem to manifest itself. Time will tell, but at least you've been warned. What I would say is if you're slightly worried about it, just as a safety check before you set off, just give your mirrors a quick waggle, put them out of alignment and then put them back in, just the mirror heads, because if they're on the way out like mine were, they'll either droop down straight away and then you'll know there's something amiss, or they will come away in your hand, which has got to be preferable to having them come away when you're out riding, bouncing down the road, possibly injuring pedestrians or damaging other vehicles or people's property. So if you're slightly worried because you've done a few thousand miles, then I would suggest a little safety waggle before you set off. I'm also beginning to think that the cracks only appear just before the mirror falls off. I think that's possibly they appear after the interior of the mirror has broken down. I say that because not 2 weeks before Buddy's mirror fell off, I'd washed Buddy, and I'm pretty sure I would have seen the cracks if they'd been there then. So it might really be the case that the cracks only appear at the very last minute, so you may not get a lot of warning. So again, another reason, give your mirrors a little safety waggle before you set off if you're worried. That's got to be the best way to go about things. That was a nice little bit of road. I know there's a couple of repairs here. There was one back there, there's another one here. Well, they've thrown a load of gravel down, which is not ideal, but can't complain. So yeah, we're heading off to the road that is Buddy's nemesis, or was Buddy's nemesis. He's mastered it now, he fought his way through to Albanchez. And we're just going to take a different route. We're going to take a turning off, which we didn't take last time, and that should bring me to Arboleas. So that will be quite interesting to see if that works out. So I'll get back to you when we're on the little dodgy road, surfaced road, and yeah, we'll take it from there. See you in a bit. So here we are now with the Classic 350 on the road which was Buddy's nemesis. It's been a nice ride out here, some lovely bends, some nice scenery. So now we're about to set off down this road, and as I said earlier, I think I said earlier Las Menas or Los Menas. That was wrong. The place is actually called Los Molinas. Los Molinas. So before we get to Los Molinas, we have to turn off, and that should take me down a different route, but also kind of more or less back home. So let's saddle up and chug about. We'll do a little bit of second gear chugging now, and yeah, pretty soon we'll get to this new section of road which you can share with me. So let's go. So here we are, doing the typical second gear chug on a bad road surface, but this time on the Classic 350 and not on Buddy the Meteor. So we've seen this road before. This is where the bunny rabbits kept trying to commit suicide in front of me when I came down here on the Meteor. So we just need to chug down here, demonstrate the J-Series engine's second gear chuggability once more. Just leave it in second and enjoy the ride, really. Yeah, it's not bad down here, I quite like it, even though the road surface isn't great. If you're not in any hurry, it doesn't really matter. There's a rabbit, yay! A bunny rabbit, I knew we'd see one. Another one, look at this. This is definitely the place to come if you want to see rabbits. Goodness me. Well, as we've seen this road before, and if you haven't seen it before, you need to check out my video. Buddy takes on his nemesis or something like that. Faces his nemesis, I think it was called. But yeah, as we've already seen this bit of road in a previous video, I shall stop here and I shall rejoin you when hopefully we get to the junction where I need to take a different turning to the way we went last time. So I'll see you there. Bye bye. Right, so we're just coming up to the junction now where we're going to turn off in a minute. So I think what I'll do before it gets exciting, I'll hand you back to ER in the studio for another Other Bods Mods segment. So over to you, ER, in the studio.
Other Bods Mods, Other Bods Mods. Some of you bods are clever sorts. Other Bods Mods, Other Bods Mods. Let's pay respect to some Other Bods Mods, yo.
Come on, fit you.
Respect. Thanks, ER. Welcome viewers to a segment we call Other Bods Mods, today featuring 3 bikes from different parts of the world. The first bike up today comes from North Carolina, the United States, and it's Dan Rodemski's Classic 350. Now, if there was a prize for the most mods on a single motorcycle, I think Dan would probably win it with his Classic 350. There's a lot of mods to get through, so let's go. Dan has a very nice custom-made number plate holder with the "Made Like a Gun" slogan since 1901. Dan has also fitted this throttle lock, a kind of primitive cruise control. I actually have one of these myself, but I haven't currently got it fitted to any of my bikes. Here you can also see the blanking plug where the original mirrors were fitted. Here we see a stick-on Grateful Dead skull on the air filter housing. Here we see the fork lower and brake caliper painted black with a product called Plastidip, because Dan didn't like too many shiny bits on his Classic 350. Here we see the touring foot pegs and the brake pedal position has been adjusted. Here we see a luggage rack purchased off eBay, mounted using rivet nuts, and here you can also see the cosmetic springs for the single front seat. For luggage, Dan has mounted a pair of Viking saddlebags. These are a hard plastic shell covered with a faux leather covering. Here we see that Dan has also fitted the heel toe shifter. Here we see that Dan has fitted amber LED running lights, and he also has mounted white lights on the crash bars, which come on with main beam. Dan has fitted his garage door remote control to the handlebars. And here we see his quad lock phone mount and Beeline navigation pod. We're not done yet. Dan has also mounted the Royal Enfield bar end mirrors with the blanking plugs for the normal mirror holes, as we saw earlier. And here we see Dan's adjustable levers made by Road Power Customs. Here we can also see that he has a RAM mount for his action camera. And that was it. Dan Rodemski's Classic 350 from the good old US of A. Well done, Dan. That's quite an extensive list of mods. I had a lot of work putting this together. Thanks for that. And yeah, a really good effort on your part. You definitely went to town on your Classic 350. So next up we have something a bit different. A Classic 500 on Other Bods Mods. This is a first for the channel. This is Dinklick's Classic 500. and he lives in France. As we can see here, Dinklick has made some sympathetic mods to his Classic 500. We can see that he has mounted a tax disc holder on the right front fork leg, and also, among other things, he has mounted a vintage AA badge to the engine crash guards. This is the AA badge as purchased. This is the AA badge once restored. And this is the AA badge mounted to the engine crash bars. Thank you, Dinklick. It was great to finally have a Classic 500 on the channel. Last but not least, we have Sky Saxon Dragon Slayer's friends, thanks for that name by the way, Meteor 350 from Germany, and Sky Saxon Dragon Slayer, thank you, mounted these panniers for his friend. These are the SW Motec cases. They come as a complete set with 2 mounting brackets and 2 cases, detachable cases with carrying handles for about €500. I'll put a link to these cases in the video description from Lewis. I quite like these cases actually. I think they're very practical size. They seem to be mounted in nice and tight, and apparently they're a simple bolt-on mod. There's no hard work involved. You just fit the brackets and the cases lock in and lock out. So a nice practical solution. So if anybody's interested, I will put a link to these SW Motec panniers in the video description. So thank you, Sky Saxon Dragon Slayer, and that concludes today's Other Bods Mods. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this Other Bods Mods segment. I certainly enjoyed making it. Thank you to those of you who sent me the pictures and the information. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to bringing you another Other Bods Mods segment very soon. And now I'll hand you back to ER out on the road somewhere. Bye bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that Other Bods Mods segment. Thank you again to those who contributed pictures and information. And if you would like your own mods to be featured on the channel in a future video, as it said in that video segment there, just send me your photos and information of the mods you've done, either via my email address, which you can find in the About section of my YouTube channel homepage, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram via my Instagram account, which is Economical Rides. One word written together. So here we are, this is the junction. So last time we went left to go to Albanchez, which took us through Las Molinas. Today we're going to go to the right, and that should bring us hopefully to Arboleas. So let's see how that goes.